Welcome back to Lake Tahoe TV. Real treat for me. Got John Merryfield in the studio, and we're just talking a little paddle boarding. So you're pretty much a paddleboard enthusiast, I guess is how you would put it.
I am.
And then also taking that into a little activism as well. You're coming up with this big event. You're going to paddle around the lake. And what are you doing it for? Kind of what's the main push behind it?
Well, I did it last year, and I'm going to do it again this year. And the paddle is to raise money for Farm Sanctuary. And Farm Sanctuary works to end cruelty to farm animals. And the idea behind it is to do something beautiful and fun and bring the awareness to something that maybe isn't so beautiful and fun, which is the treatment of animals for food.
Yeah, it's really horrendous. You know, I've actually seen some of the videos, you know, experienced it even firsthand. And you know, my mom has a farm, and it's pretty bad what they do to the animals for the most part in those big industrial farms. And I know you've shifted towards a vegan diet as well as a kind of a way of bringing some awareness around to this.
Absolutely. That's the best thing that people can do to change the conditions for animals is to not eat them. You know, is to go to a plant-based diet. And you know, that's one of the things about paddling around the lake is I wanted to show people you can paddle around the lake and eat plants and you know, have a healthy diet and doing like that.
Right, you know, you're like, I can paddle around the lake and I ain't like chewing on steak while I'm paddling around it, so anybody else can do it. And how far actually is the distance? And are you going to go clockwise, counterclockwise?
It depends on the winds, but it's 72 miles around. And, you know, probably we're going to go towards the east shore first. That's what we did last year.
Get the rough water out of the way and then go back onto the west shore.
That's right, yeah.
And then you're going to be starting out Kings Beach?
That's right.
And that's where you're actually based out of is Kings Beach?
Yeah, I live in Kings Beach.
Awesome. Well, I know when you were telling me about it, I was fired up. I think it's a great thing that you're doing, and I know probably a lot of other people want to join, maybe not paddle the whole thing, but paddle parts of it, or just root you on. Can they participate?
Absolutely. 8 people started the paddle last year with us, and 2 of us finished. And anybody's welcome to come. And you know, we're starting September 10th, Kings Beach, 8 o'clock in the morning. And contact me if you want to paddle that part or any other parts. It might take from 2 to 5 days to complete the paddle. And again, it's to raise money for something that, you know, I believe in, you know, creating a better world, you know, a kinder, more compassionate world. And this is a fun way to keep people's attention on something that you know, deserves some change.
Absolutely. I think especially at this time in the world, it's important for us to coexist with the world instead of, you know, purging it like we have been for the last 300 years, because now we're seeing the geotourism push. We're seeing a lot more people being focused on the world, but I mean also the animals are the most important part because they keep up the bread and butter for us.
Well, you know, there's no doubt about it. I mean, you bring a good point up. It's not just about the animals, it's about you and I. It's about what kind of world we want to create for ourselves. And a plant-based diet also is much better for the environment. It's much more sustainable. And you know, the amount of foods that are produced just to feed farm animals is a waste. And that's the component that I think is overlooked.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. There's farms out there, I mean not farms, but they're growing thousands and thousands of acres of this grass just to feed the animals that they're then going to use petroleum to get these animals and ship them to us. And I think you know, bringing awareness about this and doing the paddleboard's great, and I know a lot of people out there are going to be fired up about it. So if people want to donate maybe and just give Farm Sanctuary some money or you personally to pass it on, how can they do that?
Yeah, there's a website. It's called firstgiving.com/John Merryfield. And that's set up just for this paddle, and all that money goes to Farm Sanctuary.
Well, right on, John, and thank you for doing the good work and you know, doing some right stuff here in Lake Tahoe. And we'll keep up the word for you. We'll be right back with more of Lake Tahoe TV's Tahoe Today.